Hello guys, welcome to a new Get Rekt gaming news video, and I have some new gaming goodness for you guys today. I have some spicy rumors that we are going to talk about. A new Sly Cooper might be in development and might actually get announced this year, as well as a new Infamous. And I have some very cool speculation on some Xbox hardware. Mainly, maybe a Xbox handheld. If you guys all want to know about this stuff, keep on watching, because it's going to be something promising, I can tell you. Sit back, relax, take a beverage, and let's get on with the news, shall we? So, the first topic that I want to talk about is the new Sly Cooper game that has been rumored for a very long time now. First off, account NGT in the past, which is a really reliable leaker in the industry that I know, has leaked things in the past, especially about Star Wars Eclipse. He was dead on right about that stuff. And now he has a new scoop about this Sly Cooper game that is in development. First I want to talk about another insider. This is an article from comicbookgaming.com. It's not about comic book, they just have an article that I want to read. A new Sly Cooper PS5 game revealed, teased by Insider. A notable video game insider has teased when PlayStation might opt to reveal its rumored new entry in the Sly Cooper series. Over the course of the past year, we've heard numerous rumors related to a new version of Sly Cooper that would come to the PlayStation 5 in the future. And while details are still sparse on what this revival might end up looking like, we now have a better idea when more details could arrive directly from Sony. Mentioned in the latest episode of the Xbox Era podcast, host Nick Baker shared that he doesn't believe any announcements related to the new Sly Cooper for PlayStation 5 will come about next month in June. In recent days, rumors have swirled suggesting that Sony could hold a new PlayStation State of Play style event within the month. This insider, they are talking about Nick Baker, which is basically Faisal. Again, his name, I cannot say his name correctly. Faisal Nick. We covered him in our last video from the same I think this is even from the same podcast, but new info. He is reliable, he has some reliable stuff. The cool thing about this is that the leaker that I mentioned earlier, account NGT, basically collaborates with this information, and he heard the same stuff. What account NGT has heard, likely September, as I saying since early March. So in early March, account NGT already mentions about the development of a new Sly Cooper. Now, as you guys know, I believe Sly Cooper is actually originally developed by Sucker Punch. I could be wrong, but this Sly Cooper is going to be made by a new studio, Pixel Opus, I believe. I could be wrong about that. That's what the rumor says, at least. But he has some other stuff that he mentioned on Twitter, which I will show you in the video. By the way, the same source told me a few weeks ago that no big showcase was planned until September, which coincides another time announced in September. There isn't a big Sony showcase until September. Now, in my personal opinion, I disagree with that somehow, because we have God of War, and that's still needs a release date, and we need to see it somewhere. Of course, that can all be done in a state of play, but also Final Fantasy 16. We haven't heard anything about Final Fantasy 16 yet, and that's supposed to come out soon as well. I don't know if they are correct with the fact that we won't see any big showcase until September. By the way, if that's true, I would find that really stupid of Sony. They let Xbox go so far in advance in June, and I don't know, they don't feel pressure probably to show anything, but I would find that really very sad if it's going to take until September until we hear about the future in 2023. I hope this is not true. I hope. Account NGT is pretty reliable. I do still believe myself that we will see a state of play. It has to. That we will see a state of play for God of War earlier. That has to. It has to come out soon. They promised it, and it has been delayed already to 2022. God of War was supposed to be a 2021 game, guys, by the way. So I don't see anything like not for being in the summer. There has to be something there. Even if it's just the God of War state of play and maybe the Final Fantasy state of play. Also keep in mind, it's the 35th anniversary for Final Fantasy next month. So there has to be a state of play in some sort of way for God of War and Final Fantasy 16. Will that be in June? I don't know. But I do think it will be in the summer. And I don't think we should wait all the way to September for new announcements from PlayStation. That would be very stupid, in my opinion, you know, that would be very long. So, another thing he said on Twitter, this source also thinks that a new Infamous will be announced this year. Who is going to develop this Infamous game? Because I can tell you 100%, Sucker Punch is busy with a Ghost of Tsushima sequel. We have listings for Ghost of Tsushima like combat that they were searching for that. People who were knowledgeable on traditional Japanese culture and history, they were searching for that. That screams Ghost of Tsushima sequel. I don't know if Sucker Punch is big enough to take on two projects at the same time. They might be, I don't actually know. They might do the same thing as Insomniac. That Insomniac is developing the new Spider-Man and the new Wolverine. Two projects at the same time. So maybe Sucker Punch is doing the same thing. And Sony gave them more budgets for you need to do the Ghost of Tsushima sequel because that sold a lot. But you can also do an Infamous. Here is some money and a team and some expansion. I don't know how big Sucker Punch is. They might actually be able to make two games at the same time. I also just hope to God I want to see a Ghost of Tsushima sequel. I love Ghost of Tsushima. It's probably my one of my most favorite PlayStation 4 exclusives to date. So it could be that the Infamous game is in development next to Ghost of Tsushima. But I can tell you this, Ghost of Tsushima is definitely in development because that ship made a lot of sales. And I can see it from the job listings that they are making Ghost of Tsushima and like a sequel. I wasn't really a fan of Infamous Second Son, to be honest. I thought it was an okay game, but compared to Ghost of Tsushima just blew that out of the water. Yeah, so a Sly Cooper game and a new Infamous game in development for PlayStation 5 exclusives. I hope we get PlayStation news soon, because I'm getting bored. PlayStation, give me content. I want to make videos on you guys. And then the next thing that I want to talk about is a very big thing. But this is all very, very, very speculation type of territory that I'm now going to go in. There is this discussion between Tom Warren. He is a editor for, I think it's Vice. The Verge, sorry. So he's a senior editor for The Verge. He does a lot of Microsoft stuff, covering Microsoft, like Xbox, Windows. And there's a conversation with Jez Corden. Now, Jez Corden is a very reliable insider when it comes to Xbox stuff. He has had just stuff always correct when it comes to Xbox. So they have this discussion on Twitter, which is really interesting. Tom Warren tweets, got Xbox Cloud Gaming up and running on the Steam Deck. And now I am convinced more than ever that Microsoft should do a Xbox Portable. And Jez replied on that, maybe you will get your wish. And then Tom Warren replies, I am not going to count on it, but if it happens, then I'll meet you in Edinburgh for a beer. Edinburgh. Oh, why? That's such a specific location. And then we discover that Edinburgh is actually a project name under Xbox. So there's another tweet by Idlesloth. Could Project Edinburgh be the code name for a Xbox portable? We see here a screenshot of some code. I'm not a... I think this is like something like HTML code, web code. I'm not like an expert on that stuff, so I could be wrong. We see here some code and some code names for DevKit, Lockhart. I believe Lockhart was a project name for a console as well. I could be wrong. It's really long ago when the Series X, S and X were like speculated. I remembered the name Lockhart and Anaconda as well. Anaconda is also here on this list. And Count is also on this list. The word count. So count and Edinburgh means something, which is very interesting. I think this is a list of like hardware stuff. Could there be an Xbox handheld on the way? Why not? I should say, because to be honest, Xbox Game Pass will be a very good platform to be on a handheld, as well as the new streaming service that Xbox is going to have. And it's they already dabbled in the mobile market for Android, that you can stream your Xbox games via cloud service to your phone. So why not have a specific handheld as well, you could say. It's very interesting. We don't know any specs or of this handheld or anything. To be honest, I wouldn't be very hyped for a handheld. I don't see the reason for it. I could just stream those games then on my phone with the cloud service. But of course, if it can maybe natively play games, which I do not see happen on a handheld, like Series X games on natively, that's basically too powerful for a handheld. I mean, look at the Switch, how underpowered that one is. So, I think it's going to be something of a streaming device, or have some sort of local hardware that can help with the streaming, to stream high quality Series X games to your handheld device. Yeah, that's pretty interesting if this is true, if Xbox is going to dip their toes into the handheld market, into basically Nintendo's territory. We all know also that PlayStation had a handheld as well, the Vita, which was pretty successful. I know a lot of people who actually really liked the PlayStation Vita. I actually had a PlayStation Portable when that came out. I played Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep on it, because I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. So, yeah, if it's maybe something like the Vita, that could be really cool. We shall see what this is. If it can compete to the Steam Deck, maybe. That would be actually very cool if they try to compete with the Steam Deck, and that you can maybe put Windows on it, because it's coming from Microsoft, right? It's coming from the guys who develop Windows. So emulation would be very cool on it. Let me know in the comment section down below if you are like interested in this type of handheld stuff from Xbox, or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a streaming stick that you can put in your TV or something, and it's not a handheld. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Also, are you guys hyped for a new Sly Cooper and Infamous? Maybe a new Ghost of Tsushima? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give me a like. That would also be very appreciated. So maybe subscribe. It would also be cool. Visit my social media. And as always, thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next Get Rekt news video. Bye bye.